Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and discuss my top 10 favorite go-to neutral eyeshadow palettes, just because I know I've done so many videos about the best colorful palettes out there, and I kind of have a mixture of mainstream. I have some really amazing indie ones, so I thought we could just discuss it today. And I kind of categorized them into 4 different categories. So there's grungy, like camely toned palettes, there's cool toned palettes, warm toned palettes, and then I have 2 that are just like a mixture overall with like a little bit of everything, a little bit of color thrown in. And these are just palettes that I really like the formula, I like the color story, I feel good when I wear them. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So let's start off with the tones that I'm wearing right now, which is like very camely slash grungy, fun, neutral vibes. So the first one that I just have to mention, I've talked about so many times, is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. This is one of my favorite neutral palettes of all time. I just think that the textures that are in here, the shades, like it just is so good. Out of every single Natasha Denona palette that I've tried, if I had to recommend one and say like the best quality, the best color story, the best textures, I would personally recommend this one. I feel like for me, I did purchase it on sale, but it was worth it. I only have one shade from this on my eyes today, which is Lime Chrome. I just have thrown on my inner corner. Definitely one of the best eyeshadows to exist. I feel like the mattes in here blend so nice, and I don't think that I've ever done a look with this palette and walked away thinking like, oh, I didn't like that. So definitely my favorite. And then coming up next is going to be the Tammy Tenuka. I believe this is the Peaceful Earth Dragons palette, if I remember correctly, but it is just the cutest little 6-pan grungy color story. There's 2 mattes in here, which I feel like give a good amount of variety. This is a really nice kind of like mid-tone mustardy tone, and then a nice deep rich brown. There's a satin shade here, which is actually really nice. I don't normally go for satins that much, but I love that one. And then these 3 metallic shades are stunning. This one's a duochrome, this one's like a really fun olive, and then this one's like the prettiest bronze shadow in my collection. I really love this one. I do have all 3 of the shades on top on my eyes today. I did film this look for my Patreon in case you're interested, but another one that I really recommend. I'm not sure if this is still available in a palette or if the shades are available individually, but whatever I can find, I'll definitely link down below. Or if you already have it and it's collecting dust in your collection, this is your sign to pull it back out. So another one that I'm going to mention is going to be the Natasha Denona Camel palette. This one is a little bit softer compared to the gold palette when it comes to tones, but it does have a very similar vibe. I really just like the mattes in here. I feel like it's just a very easy, everyday little quint. I also feel like this is a really fun one to pair with different indie singles. I really like the tone of this like satin kind of highlighting shade, so I just wanted to go ahead and throw this one in. This one's a little bit more tame than the other ones that I'm mentioning in this category, but I still feel like it gets the job done. And then next I wanted to talk about the Menagerie Killer Purr palette. This one definitely grew on me. When I first got it, it wasn't my absolute favorite, but I love the matte tones that are in here. I personally don't really love the metallics. I don't reach for them that often. They're okay. They're just not my favorite to work with, but the matte shades that are in here, I just feel like you have such like fun yellow tones. You've got warm mustardy tones, the pop of green, the pop of blue, like this like grungy olive shade, I feel like makes this palette extra fun. I feel like it's very inspiring. So now moving into the warm tones, the first one that I have to mention is going to be the Sigma Quarta Rosa. This palette just took me by surprise, and it's just so good. I feel like if I had to recommend one warm palette, it would be this one. It just has so many like amazing matte shades. I feel like you've got like traditional like orangey tones, but then you've also got like a little bit of burgundy, you've got a little bit of peach, you've got some really stunning different shimmer options that go along with it, and I just feel like the mattes in here blend so nicely. The brush that it comes with is amazing as well. I use it all the time. I feel like it's got a good mixture of like some light, some mid-tones, some deeper shades to add depth. So I just really love this one, and anytime I'm wanting more of a warm look, I reach for this. And then the other one I want to mention is the Kaleidos Sashimi City palette. I feel like this is just a really easy warm palette. It has some really nice matte shades, but then it has those like super incredible, intense, shimmery, sparkly metallics to go along with it. So I feel like those just kind of make the palette, and if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, a little bit more edited, I think that this does a really great job. Quality's nice, packaging's adorable as always with Kaleidos. Okay, I'm gonna do my mixture palettes now, and I'm gonna leave my like cool tones for the end just because those are my current absolute faves. So I also wanted to go ahead and mention the Soul Mane palette from Odin's Eye, and I've just been really liking reaching for this more and more. I feel like this is fun because it has like a little bit of cool tones in it, it has a little bit of warm tones, it has like the pop of lavender, it has this shade which is very close to Natasha Denona Lime Chrome, and I just really like the textures that are in this palette. Unfortunately, this shade right here is a little bit of a dud and it doesn't pick up the absolute best in my palette, at least. I don't know if that's the same for every single Soul Mane eyeshadow palette that they've sold. You've got like a mustardy tone here, an orange tone, like a rosewood brown. So I just feel like this is fun. It kind of gives me everything all in one. And it's funny because I had this palette for a long time and I didn't reach for it that often, but I've been using it more and more recently, and I just feel like it gives a really beautiful, soft, flattering look. Next, I want to mention the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette. This is definitely a favorite. So here's what it looks like. I really love this because of the variety that it gives. I feel like there's some really beautiful warm tones, there's some cool tones, there's some pops of blue. The like foiled shades up here are really stunning. This silver is one of the best silvers in my collection. It is just truly phenomenal. Every time I put it on my eyes, I absolutely love it. The level of foil that Shadow has is unreal, and I just feel like the quality of this in general is really nice also. So that's one of my favorites for just wanting everything all in one palette. Okay, so next, jumping into the cool tones. I mean, I'm sure you guys will already be able to guess this, and this kind of does give a little bit of everything, but I think it's like mostly my go-to for cool tones. So this is gonna be the Cine Grace Enduring Love palette, and I do have the light version. I just love this palette so much. Here's what it looks like. Constantly reach for this. I just feel like it has so many perfect matte shades, especially for my skin tone, like I said, because this is the lighter version. It's really easy for me to go super soft with this, but I still have, you know, the option to add a little bit more depth. I feel like the pops of color in here between like the pink, the blue, the olive are really nice. And then the, like, this is like a charcoaly silver, a like silvery gold, and then like a just traditional kind of like bronze shade. Those are all really beautiful as well. They're super foiled. I love the Cine Grace metallic formula. I feel like when I go into this palette, I have like 3 looks that I do over and over, where I like go like really rosy, or I do like a really soft cool tone look, or I do more of a grungy cool toned look. Okay, I'm just gonna put that one down before I keep blabbering because I know I've already talked about it so many times on my channel. So the last palette that I have to mention is a newer one to me, but I have been using it so much, it's ridiculous. I just love it. I wish that I had bought it sooner. This is the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette, and it's just like my dream cool tone palette. I feel like it has like the rosies, the grays, the like mauve tones. It's got like true brown cool tone shades. I don't know, I just feel like the mattes in here are super easy to work with, and I've just been reaching for it constantly. I have used some of the shimmers and they're all right. They're not like my absolute favorite, but I feel like for the price and everything, I am happy with just constantly reaching for the mattes in this palette. I will say that if you do have a deep skin tone, this might not be your favorite because I feel like a lot of the shades, especially, I mean, even like just like this entire area here, are pretty light. I wish that there was like a deep version of this palette. I mean, there are deepening shades, but I feel like potentially if you have a deep skin tone, a lot of the shades in this palette would go to waste or wouldn't be usable. But overall, for me personally, I just really love this. It's become a go-to already. And I mean, I don't know if you can tell, for like owning it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something like that, I feel like it is pretty loved. Oh, and I haven't even tried this yet, but I'm so excited about it. So let me know if you guys want me to do a first impression. But Alter Ego sent me their new Shadow Kiss palette, and I believe that this is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which I don't own. And I've thought about buying so many times, but this one is a lot more affordable. So here's what it looks like. It's my vibes right now, so I'm very excited about that one. and I can definitely do a video if y'all want to see it. I feel like it could end up potentially being on this list just looking at the colors alone, but definitely gonna have to test that out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd be super curious to hear what your favorite neutral palette is, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.